Hello, all you wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people. I have another collection video for you guys today. And so I have not talked a whole lot about collecting comic books and stuff like that. But I do have particularly one comic character that I do kind of follow. Have not read all of the books, but I do have I would say an okay collection. I do not have everything, but it's one of them things when I'm thinking about it, I buy a couple more of the books, then kind of goes on back burner for a little bit. So with that, I collect the Deadpool trade paperback books. I don't particularly collect comic book issues, mainly just out of convenience, I suppose. Where with trade paperbacks, I want to say you get a lot more in a more condensed kind of read, and you don't have to go searching around for the next issue or whatever. Just kind of all goes in a row. So with that, we'll start with the first volume that I have. I have Deadpool Classics, Volume 1. Now, I could read the description in the back, but with these, I think I'll read off what issues they have. This one has Deadpool's first appearance, which was New Mutants issue 98. Deadpool's Circle Chase issues 1 through 4, which was a little mini series. Then you got something specifically just listed as Deadpool 1994, though I am sure that has an actual, it would be Deadpool's Sins of the Past, I believe, or maybe not. I don't know. Either way, it's another mini-series. And then this also has a collection of Deadpool 1997, the first issue. And this Deadpool is like the main series that took off in 1997. So the other Deadpool was like a 4-issue miniseries. So he had 2 miniseries that was 4 issues. But yeah, that is volume 1. We have Deadpool Classic, volume 2. This is a little bit more, not as much random stuff. This collects Deadpool issues 2 to 8 of the main series, and it also has a issue with Daredevil / Deadpool Annual 1997. I don't know specifically, but I do know that a lot of the superheroes during this time frame, like every year, they would have a annual featuring specific characters. It was kind of more or less like, I don't know, just like a special story that, well, specifically that annual with Daredevil, it ties into a story that was going on in the Deadpool series. So they are connected. Oh, and this also has a issue called -1. -1 was like a series, I think, the company Wizard was doing. Let me see if I can find the cover for it. This is pretty cool. Like, this was the Daredevil Deadpool annual kind of cover. It's a cover that wrapped around the whole book. So that was kind of neat. What? Well, oh, there it was. Yes, I think it was by Wizard, anyways. Yeah, it's just kind of a little weird back. The top it says flashback #1, but they have it labeled as -1. We have Deadpool Classic Volume 3. Little art on the back. You can also see my OBS recording software. So this collects Deadpool issues 9 through 17 of the main Deadpool series, 1997. And it also includes Amazing Spider-Man 1963, issue 47. So, them are the only two main things that it collects, but the reason it includes that number 47 issue of Amazing Spider-Man is because this particular cover, it is a spoof cover of the cover of that issue of Amazing Spider-Man. The story itself has nothing to do with Deadpool or anything like that. It's just during that specific issue, Deadpool was spoofing that cover. So they added that into this book series as just like a nice little bonus, I guess you could say. Deadpool Classic Volume 3. This has a pretty cool picture on the back. This one includes Deadpool 18, or issues 18 through 25 of the main series, obviously. Also includes issue number 0, which I think is another. So every once in a while, the superheroes will have what's called a one-shot, which is basically a single issue story kind of thing. And that's what number 0 is, or issue 0. It's just a one-shot kind of story for Deadpool, I believe. Then you have Deadpool/Death Annual 98. So like he had the 1997 annual with Daredevil. Deadpool had an annual 98 with a character called Death. I should say she, because Death in the Marvel Universe is a woman. Let me see if I can find that issue 0. Because then that will trigger my memory a little bit about what that was about. You also get to enjoy some nice ASMR page turning. Okay, that's actually a part of the main series. Same with the main series. It's got to be one of these at the main series. Okay, maybe it's at the beginning. How am I supposed to know? Though that helps. No, that doesn't. Well, you got the start. Deadpool Death Annual. Another wraparound cover. I realize I'm kind of taking my time through this, but there's some things I just enjoy kind of going over with you guys. Especially if it makes me think of something. I'm pretty sure. Alright, so I can't find issue 0, but that's alright. It's not too important. It's just trying to remember. Issue 0? Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe that is the one that had to do with being a one-shot done by the company Wizard. Anyways, Deadpool Classic Volume 4. Then you get a little bit artwork on the back of one of the covers. This includes Deadpool 1997 issues 26 through 33. Then you also get a one-shot book called Baby's First Deadpool Book. And you get actually another pretty much just, well, I say one shot, but later on this will come into play again. Deadpool Team Up number 1, which is this one, which you see a little shorter Deadpool. His name is Whittle Wade. Yeah, something like that. But yeah, as you see from the look of these, or from what you can tell, a lot of these it's just collecting the main Deadpool series into one little package kind of thing with a few little bonus issues sprinkled in whenever it makes sense. Ooh, it's raining outside. Might be able to hear it coming through the mic. I don't know. Oh. Trying to find where the special books are. There you go. That's kind of a weird one, but baby's first Deadpool book. And what this consists of is, I don't think it's necessarily, okay, it's not necessarily a story, I think. I think it's meant, no, it is telling a story, but in a very kind of weird, still a comic book way, but it's very, very like children's book inspired as far as the art and the way the writing is pictured on the pages and stuff. So that is the theme of that book, pretty much. Interesting. I never actually read through that one. I don't know if I messed up, but that was actually volume 5 if I did not say 5. Here's Deadpool Classic volume 6. This collects Deadpool 1997 issues 34 through 45. It does also include Black Panther 1998 issue 23. And them are the only 2. However, the Black Panther issue, I believe there was a story going on in one of the Deadpool issues during this time frame that these are collected in, and the story continues on into Black Panther issue 23. Comic books like to do that with their crossovers. They would have a story arc in one of the heroes' books, and then they would then continue the next part of that story in a different hero's book. That is another reason why I like to just have these in trade paperback, because it condenses the stories down into one little reading material. You don't, for the few times that you would have to, you don't have to go and look for an issue in a different series completely in order to continue the story. That's just the way things worked. Huh. Interesting. It's a gorilla dressed up as Deadpool. Also, it's just kind of refreshing to so I could buy all these comics digitally, but there is just something about flipping through the colorful art pages that gives you kind of a feeling that reading digitally just does not give you. I mean, you can get the story, yeah, and you even see the pages, but I don't know, there is something about just feeling the pages as you turn them. definitely don't need it physically, but it is nice to have them physically. I was gonna try to... That's a cool cover, actually, as far as spoofing goes. Deadpool, G.I. Joe kind of thing. I'm not sure at what point Black Panther comes into play. Haven't seen it. But yeah, there's a nice little art, because that is probably one of the covers. Then we have Deadpool Classic Volume 7. Get a little bit of art. This includes Deadpool 1997 issues 46 through 56 and material from X-Men Unlimited 1993 issue 28. So I don't know specifically the reason X-Men Unlimited is included. It might be another story kind of crossover thing. So now I haven't looked up prices in a while as far as for the Deadpool books. It's been probably a decade or something like that, but I do remember this is a cover to one of the issues of Deadpool. The Deadpool versus Punisher. I do remember it being one of the more, I wouldn't say overly expensive, valuable, but it was one of the more sought after issues. See if we can. So it starts off automatically with the X-Men Unlimited. So from the look of things, it's possible it could not be continuing the story, but it could be just a guest appearance from Deadpool. Like, that pretty much might be all it is just a bonus of a comic Deadpool appeared in. Oh no, it did say material from it, so it looks like this is only like the first couple of pages. I guess in this specific comic, the X-Men Unlimited thing, because there's literally only like 5 or 6 pages worth of stuff here, and then it goes on to, well, the official Deadpool comics, which this particular arc was called Cruel Summer. Other than that, this is pretty much straight up just issue to issue through the Deadpool series. Like I said, there's just something about flipping through the pages that does something. This one's a little bit thinner book, but this is Deadpool Classic Volume 8, almost said 9, which collects Deadpool 1997 issues 57 through 64. So I will say this right here, this pretty much sums up, not sums up, but this is where the first series ended for Deadpool. Like the first big series of Deadpool, 1997, only gone, well, I say only, but went for 64 issues, so this pretty much completes the first series with this book. The covers were pretty neat too, like the covers kind of went with the story arc to show that it was a part of the same story. Like, I believe all of these covers had to do with Deadpool Weapon X, where these story arcs were a part of Deadpool and Weapon X, which is the main thing Wolverine was a part of. So that would probably be why this story arc is possibly more kind of interesting. Just it's always been interesting to see Deadpool interact with Wolverine. That's why everyone is looking to so much more hype for the Deadpool 3 movie. Because it's always entertaining when Deadpool and Wolverine interact. Never actually read through all the series though, so Deadpool, Funeral for a Freak. Yep. I do have to take some time to read through this. Maybe if you guys are interested, maybe I'll do a little above head reading through some of these books. If you're interested for me to just do a read through of these books from a overhead perspective. Got a little bit of art back there. We have Deadpool Classic Volume 9. So where can they go when that Deadpool series is finished? Oh, never mind. I was completely wrong, and whoopsie. So this includes Deadpool 1997 series, 65 through 69. Now, 69, this was the end. I promise. I did not mean to lie. But this also includes... So we didn't know this at the time, but I'll explain more of this with the next book. But this also includes issues 1 through 6 of a character called Agent X. So, this is the first part of the series. Agent X finishes up in the next part, and I will explain more of how that ties together for Deadpool when we get to that one. It's pretty neat. Rhino sitting on Deadpool. Part of me wouldn't mind just reading through for you guys, just so you guys could see a more up close and personal look at the art and stuff. Because I know not everyone really, well, obviously all hobbies have well, not everyone is into every single hobby, so there are people out there that just have not read comic books or see the appeal to them, which that is fine. Me personally, I respect manga, but I like to watch anime more than read manga. And I realized I just pronounced it differently. That's Agent X. You can tell it by the big X scar on his face. Or on his head, I guess. Then we have Deadpool Classic Volume 9. Or Volume 10. I am one behind. Nice little art on the back. This includes Agent X issues 7 through 15 and Fight Man number 1. I have no idea what Fight Man has to do with anything. But I can... Alright, so how Agent X ties into Deadpool is you pretty much don't find out till the very end of the series that Agent X is somehow Deadpool. I have not read the series through, so I can't say any details about it, but like I don't know if it's like a clone storyline or because I know Agent X, he doesn't like have the cancer scars or anything that Deadpool normally has, so I don't know how it ties into the story, but for whatever reason, that's what they went with, and that is why Agent X is a part of the Deadpool lore. Also, the side characters in Agent X, they become part of the side characters for Deadpool and later comics. Even the cover of Agent X-15 has Deadpool leaping out a window through the fire ring. What was that? So, there's probably somewhere in here, not in here, but throughout the series that for some reason Fight Man was put in here as a bonus. Now, I don't know how it ties to Deadpool. Does Deadpool appear in here? I have no idea. The art style in this is very kind of old school though. Like the colors pop and it's very, I don't know, it looks very less detailed. Like kind of older comics. Maybe not like 1960s old, but maybe in kind of like early 80s, maybe old. At least that is what the art reminds me of. Yeah, for whatever reason, Fight Man is just a bonus. Alright. Deadpool Classic, Volume 11. And this includes Deadpool, Merc with a Mouth, issues 1 through 13, and Lady Deadpool, issue 1, which I believe Lady Deadpool only was a one-shot, at least this point at the time. On the back, that is Lady Deadpool. So, we'll get more into how Lady Deadpool came to be kind of next one. But you'll see on the front cover, there's a Deadpool head, which is very zombified. So, a popular, I guess, kind of Halloween type series for Marvel was called Marvel Zombies. I like to pick up them trade paperbacks at some point, now that they actually are on the mind. But I remember reading and enjoying I enjoyed specifically the character of Deadpool in one of the Marvel Zombies series. I think it was Marvel Zombies Series 3, I believe. But then it ended up to a spin-off series being Deadpool Merc with the Mouth. So this is Deadpool ends up teaming up with this zombie head. And yeah, that's about as ridiculous as it can possibly sound. But this was not the first, but this was probably the second series of Deadpool I read through and really enjoyed it. This was back when I bought the issues, because at one point I was buying issues as they released to the comic shop. And this is really neat. Oh, sorry. But every cover kind of spoofs the horror movie Deadpool Merc with the Mouth. I can't think of his name, but the Dawn of the Dead guy, John Romero or whatever. But yeah, so that's really neat. There's also one in here that I believe has, well, this ain't a horror movie, but Scarface. It's just Deadpool's a fun character. Story might not be grade A, but he is a character nonetheless. Where is Lady Deadpool? Is probably after the Merc with the Mouth story. Try not to flip. Still on Merc with the Mouth. Okay, maybe it was the first one. Nope. Okay, I don't know where it's at in here, but it is in there somewhere. Deadpool Classic number 12. This collects Prelude to Deadpool Corpse, issues 1 through 5. Then this also collects Deadpool Corpse, issue 1 through 12. And Deadpool Family, issue 1, which I think is a one-shot. So Deadpool Corpse, you see, it's kind of ridiculous. Deadpool Corpse, around the time, This was a spoof of the Green Lantern Corps. You don't know how well you can see on the front here. It's kind of hard to make out. Maybe I can point these out better in the back. But on the front you got Dogpool. And then you have Headpool, which is supposed to be like the zombie. You got Deadpool, you got Lady Deadpool, and you got Kidpool. Supposedly the story with this is all these Deadpool characters come together from different alternate universes, and that is the premise of the story. Is he creates a team of alternate universes of himself. Yeah, it's about as ridiculous as it sounds. But would you really expect any less from Deadpool? That's really all there is to say about this one, actually. Though I have no idea what that Deadpool family issue is about. Trying to flip through to get to it. Okay. Deadpool family. Don't know specifically what that's about, but it might be a one-shot involving the Deadpool Corps team. Okay. We have a few more books here, but I'll try to go through these relatively quickly. So this is Deadpool Classic Volume 13. This includes, well, this again, as before, because this also includes, remember how I said we would get back to this team-up thing? This does include Deadpool Team-Up 1998 and issue 1 again, but along with that, they also include Deadpool Team-Up 2010, issues 899 to 883. Now, I know you're confused, but it was a ridiculous marketing tactic just to go along with the Deadpool character. So the way they did these issues is every Deadpool team-up issue they released, they were counting backwards from 899, which, funny enough, in one of these later books I'll get back to, there is a Deadpool number 900 somewhere, but these team-up books were counting backwards from 899, and I'm guessing they didn't know how long they was planning to go for, so obviously I guess they just didn't do as well as they were hoping, so they stopped at 883. But each book has a team up with a different Marvel superhero. This first one was Hercules. Or, yeah, first one being Hercules. Then you got these wrestling characters. But yeah, it was just an interesting premise. Kind of a way to force Deadpool in crossovers with other characters. The magician lady, Zatanna, I think is her name, maybe. I'm not fully sure. At least I think that's what that was. But yeah, these were mainly just like one-shot stories, just as a team up. Nothing goes really beyond the issues, like there's no 2 or 3 issue story arcs or anything. Just these one-shot stories. Team up with the Thing. Probably one of the more iconic team ups. Well, I say iconic, but more iconic. Most iconic person being Thor. Because a lot of the team ups were like with C-rated heroes or whatnot. Stuff you wouldn't really see. It's just, they were crazy. This right here, Deadpool Classic Volume 14. So this was the first series I ever read for Deadpool. This includes Deadpool Games of Death, which is a one-shot story. Deadpool Suicide Kings, issues 1 through 5, so a miniseries. This also includes Deadpool number 900 and number 1000. This also includes X-Men Origins Deadpool, Marvel Digital Holiday Special issue 2, and material from Marvel Spotlight Deadpool. So it's this more, you would get this booklet mostly for Suicide Kings. The rest is kind of just bonus stuff, though that is one of my favorite cover arts. Deadpool with the playing cards on the floor in the background and stuff. It just looks pretty awesome to me. One of my favorite covers, though that could be just because it was really the first comic series I followed, and so the first comic I actually read. Also, I guess as a not really PSA, see, that cover is another cool one too, because that's kind of a play on that same Spider-Man cover that we was talking about earlier, like way back in book 2. What was I saying? Oh yeah, not really to do a PSA or anything, but I will say the kind of content in these comic books are more of a kind of PG-13, kind of lowbrow humor. Yeah, Deadpool 900 and 1000, they're not really relevant as far as any story arcs go. They are mainly just issues that have three smaller stories collected in the issue. Marvel Spotlight for Deadpool. That's a pretty neat art in the back. Deadpool Classic Volume 15. So this basically is going to collect, notice it says all the rest. So this collects Captain America, Who Won't Wield the Shield, issue 1, Cable 2008, issue 25, Deadpool and Cable, issue 26, Amazing Spider-Man Annual, issue 38, Deadpool Annual 2011, issue 1, Incredible Hulk's Annual, issue 1, Wolverine Deadpool, The Decoy, issue 1, Fear Itself, Deadpool issues 1 through 3, and Deadpool Corpse Rank and File issue 1. So a lot of these are kind of one-shots, or just like random booklets. Like there's no rhyme or reason for the stories in here. They're just a whole bunch of, well, all the rest, extra stuff. So I do not have all the trade paperbacks. It's something I'm meaning to get them all. I do mean to get them all at some point, but when that will happen, I don't know. I'm not actively trying to seek them out. I just buy them whenever I think of it. Okay. So this one being a little different, we're done with the traditional Deadpool Classic, but this is Deadpool Classic Companion. So this is going to be another kind of bunch of random issues. So this one collects Nomad 1992 issue 4, Secret Defenders issues 15 through 17, Wolverine 1988 issue 88, also issues 154 and 155, X-Force 1991 issue 47 and issue 56, Heroes for Hire 1997 issues 10 and issue 11. It also has material from Avengers 1963 issue 366, Silver Sable and the Wild Pack issues 23 and issue 30, Wolverine Annual 95 and also Annual 99, Contest of Champions 2 issue 4, Marvel Comics Presents issue 10, which this is 2007, and Breaking into Comics the Marvel Way issue 2. So yeah, this is just a bunch of random stuff. I have not read through this particular trade paperback yet. I still have to make my way through the original series. Alright, we have 2 more. So this is Deadpool, the Complete Collection, Volume 1. So, remember how I said we completed the original Deadpool comic run? Well, this was the second series, the second bigger series run. I moved back my microphone because it was picking up a lot. This collects Deadpool issues 1 through 12. It also includes Thunderbolts issues 130 and 131, and Wolverine Origins issues 21 through 25. Like I said, this Deadpool series was written by someone completely different than the original series. But, so, I don't know. I think Deadpool just appears in Wolverine Origins story, so that's why they included some of the issues here. The Thunderbolts, Thunderbolts is actually one of them crossover stories where there was like 4 parts, and like part 1 took place in Deadpool's comic, part 2 took place in Thunderbolts, part 3 took place back in the next issue of Deadpool, then the final part took place in the next issue of Thunderbolts. So it was very confusing like that. And this was back when I was buying comic book by the issues, so it was a little bit of a confusing time. But I did enjoy being able to just, I don't know, it kind of opened up my mind a bit with just how far the comic crossover stories could take place. Like, I always liked being able to have I like stories that continue on through kind of more mediums, or not more mediums. I'm trying to say, I like stories that kind of continue on, like, are detailed and stuff. It's why I like watching through animes, because a lot of times the episodes are not standalone. You get a complete story. It's why I like the Star Wars movies. They take place in a chronological order, and they tell a bigger story. So, and finally, last but not least, I have Deadpool Volume 2 of the Daniel Way collection, which is the writer of the series we're going through right now. So this just collects Deadpool issues 13 through 31. No bonus material or anything along them lines. But yeah, Daniel Way's way of writing Deadpool is kind of a hit or miss. He definitely leans more towards the joking side, and there's not as much of a serious tone in the stories he writes, so that's why a lot of people prefer the original run of Deadpool. There was a stake. Here it's just like Deadpool is a very joking type character, and it's just the stories are kind of ridiculous, and it just feels like there's less at stake with this run, though I still want to collect them all. I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know this was a long video, longer than I intended. I didn't want to rush through them and it be just a small 10-minute video either, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great day. Have a good night if you're going to sleep, and see you guys in the next video.